I try my best to look at players and see that I don't care what number they go. People have made teams that were drafted last pick of the 12th round when they had 12 rounds. And people have been drafted in the first round and got released in a year or two. So I've tried not to get caught up in what people are saying, because what I know is what I coined it lying season. There are people telling the guys that get all information out, fibs or stuff, just to get it out. Hey, you want this information? I need you to put this out too. They all do it.
Sure.
So I don't get too hyped up about it. But when I start looking, like what I've noticed, when something is negative said by a player, that gets blown out of proportion. But when there's something positive said by the player, people just ignore it. So why would I go with the negative if you're not going to discuss the positive? So it's just like, for me, this draft is going to come down to the other positions, which normally make a team even better.
It's interesting because I'm not even like, Washington doesn't pick until 29. I'm not even at this point. Anybody that's trying to overly focus on what the Commanders are going to do, you're probably doing yourself a disservice. They have no idea what they're going to do. Adam Peters and Lance Newmark spoke at length yesterday in Ashburn. We're going to play you a ton of that audio. And repeatedly, Peters, I made a point of listening to it today. I read the transcripts yesterday. They repeatedly, Peters is like, yeah, man, we're going to see how the board comes to us. We're going to make some calls before and after, but we're going to see what happens and kind of just take it from there. It's of all things, they're being connected with two different Texas A&M edge rushers. No idea if any of them will come to fruition, but like that's where this is at. There's going to be a ton of options for them at 29. I still think trading back is the preferred course of action. Not to say it'll definitively happen. To trade back, you also need someone that wants to trade up.
Yeah, and they have to be willing to be offering something that makes sense. You don't trade back just to trade back. You want to trade back and still get positions in right places to where you can still make your team better. Like I said earlier, I think they did so much in the offseason that they now are going to sit back and just see how it goes. I don't think they're looking at any particular position or person that they have to get.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And at 29, they've probably got some guys they like. They had guys in for their visits. I mean, clearly there are people that they've been watching. But at 29, dude, you can't be locked in on somebody.
Yeah.
Like you're so far down the board that.
But see, this is the thing, though, Jay. We have been so far up the board and having a bad team so long, we don't understand how the good teams do it. The good teams are looking at people that's going to fit in and make their team grow and get better. We were looking for someone that we can have to focus on to be able to now have people want to come even play here. We seem to have that now. And now it's about just making this team get better. It's not anymore about, we got to find this big guy to make this. No. It's just plugging someone in now to take your team from, let's say, a 90% team to a 92% team. And I think that's what's but you know what? That's not sexy for most people. Most people got to have the fact that you're getting the quarterback or the biggest guy, the baddest guy, whatever. No, now it's about enhancing this thing.
I have decided on another player I'd be quite pleased if they drafted. I think Emeka Egbuka is going to be really good for a long time. I don't know that they're going to go wide receiver. I also, closer this thing gets, think Egbuka goes 25 or higher. Like, I just don't think he's there at 29. It does get fun to start thinking about who, what, when, where. It's just not that there aren't good players in the fifth. There's good players throughout the process, but it's just there's a reason this is going to be. There's a reason tomorrow night more people will watch than probably the NBA Finals combined. Like there's a reason. It's exciting. It's fun to watch. It's fun to consider all the options. I do fear, because this is such a There's no clarity in who's going where in this draft.
Mhm.
I like pre-fear whoever the player is that goes to the draft that just slides. You know that like sad sliding video where the guy's just sitting in the green room like this?
Wasn't
Like
it a quarterback last year, year before last, that just sat there?
Yeah.
Levis.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Eating mayonnaise.
you know what, though? Even that gets eyeballs with the NFL. Like I said it yesterday, they invite these guys, and no matter if the guy gets picked early or late, they still going to put cameras in their faces. You know why? Because it's a story. And people like stories. People like bad stories, negative stories more than they do positive stories. The NFL still gets all the eyes they want.
Totally.
They don't care about that kid feelings or whatever. Hey, you here? We invited you. You're going to be here till you get picked. And we sorry you didn't get picked the first round, but get some more cameras over there.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. So Peter Schrager was on Good Morning Football forever and then he's now with ESPN, which still makes me feel like ESPN's kind of buying NFL Network or whatever, but that's a different conversation. He only does one mock draft a year, and it's late in the process. Here's one thing to consider with all the mock draft experts is they're all going to put out like their final mock draft tomorrow, despite putting a lot of this is just a content machine. So just be aware of the content machine as you're absorbing the content. But Schrager does one late in the process, talks to a lot of people, has gotten a bunch of stuff right. Some things I find interesting. I've been pretty clear that I like the kid, Michael Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a lot of talk of him potentially sliding, and I said he's a top 10 talent, and I don't think he'll slide, but if he did, Washington should jump on it.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't going to slide. Schrager has him going ninth to New Orleans. What, if anything, do you make of all the noise, smoke, lies, rumors, whatever you want to call it, about Shedeur going 9 to New Orleans?
I think it's a possibility. Thor Nyson sure thinks he's going to New Orleans. I think it's a possibility because they have a quarterback there who's injured. They need a quarterback.
Have you heard about that injury, by the way?
What's wrong with it?
There's a lot of speculation. Some doctors have a hard time identifying the injury.
Well, what it means is they don't want him there anymore.
Or he doesn't want to be there.
Whatever it is, somebody's moving on.
Right.
And I can see them taking him. I just think, look, man, even the whole thing with Shedeur, that deal, you hear some people talk, they think he's as good as any quarterback in the draft. Other people think he's straight garbage. But the ones that say he's as good as Cam Ward, he does a lot of great NFL things, it never gets repeated. But everything negative gets repeated. I think Shedeur is going to go higher than what people think.
So this time of year, I like to reprogram my brain to forget all the stuff we've listened to for a while and go back to New Year's Day, which is kind of the at least once upon a time was the festival of college football. And let's just remember who was good on the field.
Yeah.
Right? You know who was good? Shedeur.
He was.
He was good.
But see, that's the whole thing, Jay. That's something we say, but we never discuss that, what happened New Year's Day. We discuss the reports and the rumors that come out every day. So we could think about what it was on January 1st, but we discuss until April everything that's being said and nothing about January 1st again. What I believe is somebody wants him. There are people that are not going to like him whatsoever, but whoever may want him may be the one putting out the rumors.